Yeah. Welcome to Paranormal, the New Normal. As always, I'm your host, Jeremy. Trying to make the world seem a little more normal. Are we going to do that tonight? Fuck no. Fuck no. Because it's one-on-one bracket time, people. We just literally did this last weekend, but I was with a group, and my good friend here was supposed to be in that, and we had some technology issues, and it just didn't happen. So, fuck it. We're here tonight. Let's do a one-on-one with the two of us who really know more of these movies than other people who have participated. So, this should be more of a colorful discussion on these movies than we could have with the other people. And anyway, my guest tonight is Don Anelli. You may remember him from the Shark movie bracket, but you can definitely catch him on the Horror Movie Countdown bracket podcast, which is an amazing podcast that me and Chancey have been on once, and we may take it back on again at some point. Who knows? But we'll see. Don, what's going on, buddy?
Yeah, I'm doing good. As we said, technology has definitely been a major contributing factor to this conversation, but I'm definitely glad that for the time being, at least, it's been put aside so we can get down and dirty on these things.
Let's do it, because some of these matchups I hated, some of them I didn't mind because it was just an easy choice, but we'll see how Don feels about these, because this is all going to be him. I will add commentary as I feel necessary, but it's mostly going to be on him. And
Right.
we start this off with a matchup that I fucking hate. With full passion, I hate this matchup in the first round, but it is what it is. I didn't make these rankings. It's the lowest ranked movie on this whole 20-something part bracket. Number 914, hashtag Chad Gets the Axe from 2022 versus number 458, Lake Dead from 2007.
Okay, I'm gonna actually say Chad gets the axe on this one. I think it's a lot more than just the typical backwoods brutal slasher that Lake Dread is. Lake Dread has its moments for sure. There's some fun interactions with the family dynamic, but I really like Chad gets the axe. I think the interactions with the sister that he's babysitting are pretty funny. The inability for the creatures to stay dead it has some comedic moments. The back and forth, the one-liners are really great, and I love the twist reveal about how everything goes down. So I like Lake Dread. I think that's got, like I said, it's got some moments to it, but I'm gonna give it to Chet Gets the Axe.
Yes, because when you are sliced with an axe, according to the internet, the best advice is to pee on it. So, and that did not go. That's not the original way this went in the group bracket, and I am very happy of that because nobody else watched either of these movies except me, and I watched both these movies. And Lake Dead to me seems like they saw that X-Files episode Home, and they're just like, let's remake this into a movie.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. There's a few similarities. Like I said, the family structure, the backwoods brutality aspect of it.
And
I'd have to revisit, yeah, but there's some elements I remember.
oh, there definitely is. And don't worry, folks, Lake Dead will be coming back in the backwoods horror bracket eventually. So, because it is backwoods horror, truly.
Yeah.
But this next one is a modern versus old matchup, and it's going to be number 913, Hell Trip from 2018 versus number 457, Pillar from 1989.
Okay, so by process of the fact that I've only seen one of these, I'm going with Killer because I think that one's got some fun. It's got a nice shot on video aesthetic. The Killer, being indestructible, leads to some fun interactions here and there, and I'm a huge shot on video fan, so that's kind of right up in my wheelhouse. The grainy aesthetic, the flimsy effects, simple story. Hell's Trip I haven't seen, but yeah, it was one that I wanted to get to. I just ran out of time, but I do want to see it at some point. But just by virtue of the fact that I've seen it, I'm going with Killer or Killer.
Well, we were the exact opposite in that one because I've never seen Killer. I couldn't find it. But
Oh, I found it. It's on Internet Archive.
well, yeah, but I watching anything that's not on an actual streaming service or YouTube
Okay.
it's kind of hard because I don't have the time to really sit there on my laptop and actually watch something. If my
Yeah,
laptop's
I get
open
that.
while I'm watching TV, then I'm usually watching something on TV and doing podcast stuff on my laptop or something. So it's the way it goes. But
Yeah,
uh,
I get you.
definitely check out Hell Trip. It's actually a decent vacation horror movie. But
Nice. Yeah, like I said, it was one of the ones that I wanted to get to. I just ran out of time. So,
and the mask that they wear in that one is pretty fucking badass. So yeah.
ooh, always a good positive there. Yeah, you're definitely selling me on it. So, yeah, I'm really intrigued for checking out Hell's Trip.
And this next one is probably at least for most of us, it was the easiest matchup in this whole fucking bracket. And it's number 912, Jeepers Creepers Reborn from 2022 versus number 456, Terror on Tour from 1980.
Okay, you're actually going to be shocked at this. I'm going to say Jeepers Creepers Reborn. Terror on Tour is a walking sleep aid with unattractive women, very little interest in the kills, and a really, really weak storyline. I don't really care for that movie at all. I actually don't mind the Jeepers Creepers films when you take into account the creative forces behind it, which I'm completely well aware of, and I understand all the trepidation about it. But yeah, Terror on Tour is probably like one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. As I said before, that movie is a walking sleep aid. So I'm going Jeepers Creepers on this one.
Well, I'm amazed you said I'd be shocked about that because I've seen both these movies and Terror on Tour I watched because you found it on YouTube for me, and my God, you couldn't even see half the movie. It was shot so fucking horribly. Like
Yeah,
it's so
that's the other
dark.
issue.
It's so dark you can't see anything. So
Yeah,
I
that's the
mean,
other issue.
but and yeah, the idea of it's not bad. A band that a wannabe Kiss band gets blamed for murders because someone's using their face paint styles. That's actually not a bad storyline if it was actually a better made movie. But
Right, yeah. It's
and
it's one
Jeepers
I would throw that one on the potentially remake train. That's definitely one that I wouldn't mind seeing somebody take that idea and trying to do something with it.
I'm putting it out there, universe. Make it, but make it so they're wannabe insane clown posse and have someone copy their face paint. But
Ooh, there we go. Yeah.
the Juggalo and me would watch that. But Jeepers Jeepers Creepers is an amazing fucking series because I watched all four movies for this bracket just so I could watch the newest one. And I actually like the mythology behind those movies, but and I love that they brought back the song in this remake or whatever it is, a continuation. But I it was actually I like the mythology behind the creature, but like they need to go more into the backstory. Like they don't ever tell you what it actually is. I want to know what the
Yeah,
because
that
if it's been around for if it's basically Pennywise, because that's what it basically is. It's Pennywise from Stephen King's
right.
It.
Yeah, yeah. They
Like
they keep saying it's 27 instead of the 23, but yeah, they're basically the same thing.
it's 27% to 23, but they both feed off fear, and they both like to play with their victims before they kill them, and they both pretty much can't die really. I mean, they can get dried out and they can get made fun of, and that's how they die. But still, I mean, it's just I don't know. I just feel like they need to go more into the backstory. I thought the second movie was going to do that, but it really didn't. And then I thought the third was going to do that, and it really didn't. It kept pissing me off. But that song is
Yeah,
fucking hilarious. I love that song when he puts the song on the record player and starts dancing to it in the new one, and he freaking like is just like dances out of the room to go kill them. It's freaking hilarious. But uh, but I'm actually happy you chose that. So, but what's it going to be facing in this next matchup is number 911, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey from 2023, or number 455, Bloody Murder from 2000.
oh man, this is a tough one. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey is my second favorite film of the year. I absolutely loved everything about that movie. The demented mythology, the twisted variations on the family folklore. The girls were great. The final battle was fantastic. The gore is unreal. I
Mm-hmm.
absolutely, I loved every second of Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Needed more tits, but that's a problem with modern horror. But yeah, bloody. I'm gonna say Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Bloody Murder is interesting in that it's an entertaining slasher without any of the variants that actually make a slasher entertaining. The killer is a complete pushover. The backstory is nonsensical. The gore is non-existent. The final girl is a complete wet blanket. No nudity, no kills. but yeah, it's strangely still interesting and it's still strangely watchable. I don't hate it, but I'm definitely not really as high on it as I make it sound. I do vastly prefer the sequel. Closing Camp is amazing. That's a fantastic early slasher from the early 2000s if you haven't seen it. But yeah, in this case, I'm definitely going Winnie the Pooh. That movie blew me away. I loved it.
What'd you say the other one's called? Closing Camp?
Yeah, Bloody Murder
Oh,
2. Yeah,
it's
Bloody
at,
Murder.
all right. I'll give you a little preview here. It's actually going to be in one of the first 10 parts of this bracket, but
Nice.
at number, it's ranked at number 442,
Yeah,
and which
vastly over the original. That's where it should be. Yeah,
it's actually only 13 rankings less than the original.
really, I thought it would have been higher. It improves the original in very, very, very obvious ways. It's actually one of the first films from Tiffany Shepis. Um,
Mm.
so yeah, there's that. There's better kills. There's better gore. The killer looks a lot better. It's not the obvious Jason ripoff mask. Bloody Murder 2, if you haven't seen it, that movie is a lot of fun. I definitely
Well,
recommend it.
when we eventually get to that, which we did a wheel spin at the end of the group one to determine the next bracket, and slashers wasn't even on the list because we are never going to be doing the same bracket two parts in a row. There's too many options, so we're not doing that. And I don't like watching the same type of horror movie over and over again for multiple months. I'll do 34 slasher movies if I can, if they're available. But after that I need a break from slashers for a while.
Valid, yeah, valid.
But
It's
and
understandable.
just a little bit of comedy here. Bloody Murder 2, Closing Camp, in that bracket is a play-in matchup, and it will be facing Camp Murder,
Ooh, that's
which
gonna be interesting.
I haven't seen either of those, but we'll see when we get to that part eventually. And
E-
as far as this matchup goes, I love Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey. I watched it for this, and I'm so happy I did because I wanted to see it anyway. And the only thing that would have made that movie better is if they were playing Marilyn Manson's "I'm Drinking Blood Honey" as the first time you see Pooh pick up a jar. That would have been
yeah,
hilarious.
yeah, that would have been great. I don't know if they would have had the budget for that, but yeah,
Um,
that
Marilyn Manson's not working much these days, so he probably needs the money. But
well, it's more of an inside joke in the fact that I know the filmmakers. I know their
oh
budget.
yeah,
Um, I know who they are, and I know what their work is like. So I know that he would have been a little bit outside of their range, but
and
yeah,
as far as Bloody Murder goes, yeah, it's not the only Friday the 13th ripoff on this part of the bracket, even. But and there's definitely a lot of them in this all 20 something parts of this bracket. There's a lot of those ripoffs, but it was just freaking it was basically a 2000 PG version of Friday the 13th. The only thing I liked about Bloody Murder was the old man in the beginning. Those woods are dangerous. Don't go up there. That's just
yeah,
classic.
The
That's
Crazy Ralph ripoff. Yeah,
that's just classic trope for horror movies. So I love that.
yeah.
But that means you're going to be facing the same thing we faced in round two in the original, and that's Jeepers Creepers Reborn versus Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey. But we'll get to that eventually. Yeah, I. The next matchup though is one of the ones where I haven't seen one of the movies. I don't think. I don't know. I keep forgetting. Some of these run together so much that I can't remember if I saw them or not. Like it's just they run together so much that I'm like, I'll think of one. It's one is another one in this list, and I was like, oh, okay, I haven't seen one. Okay, I thought so. But let's see what you say. It's number 910, Kill Her Goats from 2023 versus, and that's Kill Her Goats, not Killer Goats, like I kept thinking I was saying last time, versus number 454, Madness from 1994.
So Kill Her Ghost is actually a lot of fun. I really like that one. The backstory is it's workable for what it is. I mean, it's not the greatest, but like I said, it works for what it is. Good-looking women, tons of nudity.
Mm-hmm.
Surprisingly, not as much Kane Hodder as I wanted there to be.
I know, right?
He's basically only in like the opening kill sequence, I think. And then I
Yeah.
think he's the first attack. He's not the one that they keep facing. He's the he's the first attack of when they show up. He's the one that runs away. That's his character.
Yeah.
So yeah, not as much as I wanted, but yeah, I would say kill her ghosts over Madness. That's just Bruno Mattei at his laziest. It's not my favorite of his giallo from the mid '90s. I think it's Eyewitness that he did. Unless that's Franco's version. Because he did two gialli in the mid '90s. Just give me 1 second here to take a look because I know exactly what he did. Because he did two in the mid '90s. He did Madness, and then I think he did one called Eyewitness. But yeah, okay, so that yeah, Eyewitness. Yeah, that's the other one. Yeah, both of these are like really bottom of the barrel Matai movies. I'm not a huge fan of this era of this period. In general, I'm a huge Matai fan, but this is not his better films. Definitely stick to his early '80s sleaze fest, Hell of the Living Dead, Women Behind Bars,
Mm.
True Story of the Nun of Monza, Private House of the SS. All of those are
Killer Women Behind Bars is on a bunch of brackets I made. I know that for a fact.
yeah, that one's a that one's a blast. I love that movie. Definitely one of my favorite women in prison films. Yeah,
Oh wow.
that's like that's my favorite era of Matai. The early '90s isn't really his best period, and even still, like I said, I prefer Eyewitness over Madness. So for this chance, I'm going Kill Her Goats.
Funny you say that because one of the brackets I've yet to make up yet, but I've got the list for is women in prison movies.
Nice. When you get to Women Behind Bars, yeah, I think it's Women Behind Bars or it's Violence in a Women's Prison. I don't remember which title it goes by,
It goes by
but
both.
yeah, yeah, I think it. Okay, yeah. So and then it is both. Yeah, but when you get to that one, you're gonna have a lot of fun with it.
Well, speaking of having a lot of fun, we're gonna have a lot of fun with this next matchup. I can already fucking tell you. But it's number 909, the mean one from 2022, versus number 453. And this movie I cannot say enough shit about. The Invisible Maniac from 1990.
Yeah, this one's easy. Mean one definitely here. Visible Maniac is much more slapstick comedy. Guy doesn't really get to slashing until way too late in the film. Uh, some
And
of the stuff, some of the stuff is juvenile, but it's funny in the right mindset. Although I'm definitely aware of the fact that because it is so juvenile, it's not for everybody. But yeah, it's definitely a case where you have to wait to get to the good stuff. Mean One's really good. I really had a lot of fun with that one. Again, much like Winnie the Pooh takes the demented fairy tale and turns it on its head. Great kills, fantastic Christmas atmosphere. I'm all in on Christmas horror films. That's one of my favorite subgenres. So, yeah, the atmosphere there was fantastic. The small town setting works. The interactions with the killer work. The fact that he's so fast and vicious, nobody knows who he is. Some great blood splatter here and there. Yeah, Mean Ones for sure for this one.
yeah, I saw both these, and the Mean One's actually one of the last movies I watched for this bracket, and I fucking loved it. Oh my god, my wife hated it, but I fucking loved it. Like, I swear to God, it could have been Jim Carrey in that suit. It could have been the way his movements were. Like
Yeah,
I mean the freaking finger thing, like everything, like it could have been Jim Carrey in that suit, and I wouldn't have known the difference because that's what it looked like. And
yeah.
Invisible Maniac, oh my fucking god. What is with that dream sequence in the middle of the movie that with the fucking mute janitor and no one like that dream sequence of him basically just getting dominated by half dressed women. Like I do not understand that dream sequence and what it has to do with the movie in any fucking way.
Yeah. That one's Wynorski, right? I always
I
get Wynorski. I always get Wynorski and Fred Ray confused, especially
I
during that era.
You're asking me names. I don't know freaking names of people that made these horrible things. But
Yeah, like I said,
okay. It's It's directed by Adam Rifkin.
oh, Adam Rifkin. Okay, that's why, because he's one of the guys that works with. Okay, yeah. So yeah, he's a regular that works with Jim Wynorski. So yeah, that definitely makes a lot of sense.
I mean,
Um,
the whole movie was just they could have took the mute perverted janitor out of that whole movie, and it would have been a better movie. Like
Yeah.
he added no substance to the movie, but it kept on insisting on showing his drunken perverted dreams, and it's just like, what the, it was literally like a 10-15 minute long sequence, and I was like, what the hell are they doing? I'm like, I'm enjoying the nudity, but what the hell are they doing?
Yeah,
It's just,
yeah, that's one of the problems with those kinds of things is that when you get the juvenile mindset in, they're not exactly for everybody. I don't mind them. I mean, that's one of the ones that I actually don't like is that particular one, just because it's so long and it stops the film cold. But
it does.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I mean, the whole synopsis of the film is just stupid to begin with, but come on.
yeah.
But well, that means the mean one will face Killer Goats in the next round. Kill Her Goats. I keep making it sound like it's a different movie, which would have probably been a better movie. Just saying, because Kill Her Goats.
Mm.
I didn't say this when we did it, but it takes place in Cape Cod. I live in Massachusetts. Like, you think that would make me like it more? It doesn't. Just saying.
Mm.
But the next matchup is number 908 Student Body from 2022 versus number 452 Blood Theater from 1984.
Okay, Blood Theater is one that I've seen once, and I have strong memories of it, but it's not one that, like I said, because I've only seen it once, I have a real lot to say about it. The premise is great. I love the movie theater, experience. There's some great nudity there. I mean, the one girl the one janitor, if it's the one I'm thinking of, um, I think it's the one janitor or the usher that just keeps going in and flashing everybody during the screenings. She's hysterical. But overall, I'm going student body.
Thank
I,
you,
I
God.
I thought I thought the characters were pretty well developed. The setup is really fun. Takes a while to get to the killings because they don't start until halfway through. But the mascot looks great. The costume is fun, and yeah, using the abandoned school is a really fun way to generate some suspense. So yeah, I'm going student body on this one.
I don't blame you 100% because my review on Letterboxd, which all my listeners, if you ever want to see my reviews for movies before brackets or see my full reviews, Para Movie God on Letterboxd. Check me out. I have a lot of reviews for horror movies already. But yeah, Blood Theater, I literally just wrote for that movie. Horrible. Just fucking horrible. That's all I wrote. I hated that movie. It was the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen. Oh, the theater is killing us all. It's haunted. It's a cursed theater. Oh my god, worst synopsis ever. Worst scenario ever. But Student Body was it's an overplayed genre, but I cast my
Yeah,
vote as long as it could last in the group one for Harley Quinn Smith alone.
yeah, I'm definitely there with you. I can see that.
Because God bless Kevin Smith and Jennifer Smith for making that girl. Oof. That's all I can say. Thick thighs save lives, people. But that's to bring you to the first two play-in matchups of this matchup to determine the final matchup in the side of round one. The first play-in is number 907, Hunt Her, Kill Her from 2022 versus number 451, Final Girl from 2015.
Oh, this is Final Girl easy for me. As much as I don't like the PG-13 rating, which makes it feel a little schmaltzy and a little too, you know, schmaltzy for my likings in the second half. I think it handles the mindset of parodying the films incredibly well. It feels like a genuine '80s film at times. The main film within the film. Some of the setups are fantastic. The killer is great. The backstory, feels like a genuine '80s thing. I really like a lot of the group here. The characters are kind of the stereotype. The jock, the ditzy blonde that's always high or drunk. The horny one, the supposedly wise one that gets killed off as a red herring. But even still, I still really like it. There's still a lot of good there. Like I said, I just wish that it would have fully gone hard R with everything that goes on around it. Hunter Killer was fine. It's not that I hated it, but it just wasn't all that impressive. It felt like a traditional backwoods slasher film for me. So
It's
yeah,
it's
I'm
not a
going.
backward it's not a backward slasher. Are you
Is
thinking of
it?
the right movie? Hunter or Kill Her is the one about the mother who takes the job at the warehouse at night cleaning it, and she realizes she's not alone.
Oh, maybe it's
Final Girl is the movie where
no.
okay,
I am thinking of the wrong one. I'm thinking of Hunter x Hunter. Okay,
no,
yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I mean, even still, I got the films mixed up, but even still,
oh, I do
Hunter
too.
Killer, yeah, Hunter Killer wasn't that great, but yeah, I'm still going Final Girl on this one. Yeah, I
And
know what you mean now, but yeah, I got the films mixed up. Sorry.
and just so you know, is Hunter x Hunter a slasher? Because it's not in this. It's not in all 25 parts of this bracket at all.
No, it's the Backwoods Survival one. It's the one where,
Okay. It might be in the backwards horror bracket. Then I can see that.
yeah, like I said, I think that's why I got confused because similar titles or
But
something. But yeah,
you still want to go with Final Girl?
yeah, I'm still going Final Girl.
See, I love Final Girl because that I love a good female revenge horror movie, and just the synopsis of her taking down all these preppy jocks that just kill girls for fun because they're rich. Like I love that scenario. Watching them die was pleasant as hell. So,
Absolutely, yeah.
and the way that her and her trainer come up with to kill them is fucking genius. So, but
Oh yeah, no, that's one of the big things for me is that it feels like there's some actual forethought put into it instead of just like the random, let's just kill everybody when we get a chance. Kind of reminded me like the Behind the Mask, the Leslie Vernon stuff.
that's actually that movie is in a lot of fucking brackets I made. I'll tell you that much right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It reminded me a lot of Leslie Vernon. I think that kind of might be why I liked it so much.
Well, to see what's going to face in round one, you have the other playing matchup on this side to do, and it's number 906, Final Summer from 2022, versus a movie I haven't had a chance to see, number 450, Dr. Bloodbath from 1987.
Yeah, I didn't see it either, but I still really enjoyed Final Summer. That movie was a lot of fun. Great camp setting. Love the old school throwback with the camp tragedy that they used to introduce the killer. Not really a fan of the secondary twist where there's two killers, but I'm not gonna say more than that just in case people haven't seen it yet because it is still pretty new.
Yeah,
I think it just officially dropped on VOD earlier this month. So
it did.
uh,
I literally
yeah,
watched it like the day it dropped. So
yeah, I think I did a couple. I think it showed up on my services maybe like a couple of days after. So yeah, I think that's. I know it has the 22 tag on it, but I think it just like literally showed up like a couple of days before. So I'm not gonna like really reveal too much about it just because it is so new. But yeah, the old school camp atmosphere is fun. Killer is great. Definitely looking forward to the sequel because there's in talks about shooting a sequel. So yeah, like I said, Doctor Bloodbath is one I haven't seen. I did find it, but I didn't have a chance to catch it. So
um,
I'm gonna have to go back and catch it. But yeah, I can't imagine it's gonna be even better than Final Summer. So I'm gonna say that one.
well, that's the great thing is all the ones I haven't seen, I get to leave on my watch list on Letterboxd, and then if they do become available on streaming ever, I get a notification for it. So because you can
Nice.
choose on Letterboxd, you could choose what services you have, and then it gives you notifications if any of the movies on your watch list come up on them. That's how a lot of these movies dropped on streaming services. A couple of these movies dropped on streaming services this month because of October, and I was able to watch them before the bracket because of that. So, but
Nice.
yeah, it works. But and I was not a fan of Final Summer. I'll say that right now. I Camp Silver Lake, come the fuck on. How? I mean, yes, I get it.
Mm,
I get that it's truly, it really is a Friday the 13th fan film. Like that's what it's supposed to be. But it's just, it was horrible to me. It was fucking horrible. But I voted against it because Dr. Bloodbath. I like the little paragraph I read on what it is more than I like Foul Summer. But
mm,
but oh
I
well.
can see that. Yeah.
We'll see if it makes it out round one though, because now you have to choose between Final Girl and Final Summer in this final matchup of this side of round one.
Wow, that's tough. Uh, I think I liked Final Summer more, but I think Final Girl is a better made movie.
It is
And
by far.
yeah, I think that's kind of weighing on me. So yeah, I'm gonna But then again, I think Final Summer, if we're talking slasher, I think it's better as a slasher because it's a genuine summer camp set slasher film. Like it's a genuine throwback to the 80s.
Yep.
So even though the revenge story in Final Girl is better and it is a better made movie, I think under the guidelines of what we're doing here as a better slasher, I think Final Summer fits better. But like I said, I do concede that I do like the story in Final Girl better. I do think it's a better made movie. But I think under the auspices of what we're trying to establish here, I think Final Summer is a better fit, if that makes sense.
It does. But that finishes off the first half of round one. And just so you're aware, we got 7 minutes and 10 seconds left till we might start a new one. But
Okay, no problem.
but and I'll watch it so I know when we're about to get cut off. But the other
Okay,
side of
cool.
the other side of round one starts off with number 685, which I didn't get a chance to watch this. The Swiss Miss Massacre from 2012 versus number 229, Nightmares from 1980.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see Swiss Miss either. So I think, again, it's another one of those by virtue of the fact that I've seen it. I'm going Nightmare. So
And I mean, Nightmares was not a good movie by any fucking means, but
yeah, it's like I said. I think by virtue of I've seen it, I think I have to say
I
Nightmare.
but I think you'll appreciate the message in the beginning of the movie, which is kids, if your parents are playing in the front seat while driving, leave them the hell alone.
Yeah,
It's a good message. But
yeah.
to see what that's going to face then in round two, you have to choose between 684 late fee from 2009 versus number 228 Valentine from 2001.
Hmm. Okay, Late Fee has some good moments there. I think there's a couple of decent stalking scenes, but I've always really enjoyed Valentine. I've always thought that one was unfairly overlooked. Great setup, great cast. Love the mystery. A bit of giallo influence, in the investigation of who's the killer. The whodunit aspect, I think, is pretty well handled.
Yep.
Yeah, some underwhelming kill scenes, but that's par for the course. I'm gonna say Valentine for this one. I've always thought it was pretty underrated. Yeah, I just wish we could get like some better kill scenes, but I think that's pretty much its main problem is, just the bland teen kill style scenes that we get in there. So yeah, I'm going Valentine.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, well, Valentine's just a far better movie than Late Fee. Late Fee was just pure garbage. I mean,
Yeah,
the dude dressed up as the fucking devil, that's the main villain in the whole movie. I
yeah.
mean,
I thought it was handled a lot better in Satan's Little Helper.
but I mean, and then the one like because they show like two movies they rent like quickly during it, and the second movie with
Oh,
the
that second one, yeah, the
that
second
was
one was
just
fantastic.
it was just brutal as fuck, and was with the
Yeah,
creature that comes out of the wall.
I don't know, but I want to see that thing expanded. I don't know why we didn't get that we haven't gotten that as a feature length expansion film. I'd love to see it.
I don't know if I would honestly, but different strokes for different folks. But
Hmm.
the next matchup, which is probably the last one we take before we start a new one, but it's number 683, Red Hook from 2009, from versus number 227, Hard to Die or Sorority House Massacre 3 from 1990.
Okay, Red Hook is a decent idea. I think there's some ideas at play there that are not too bad, but it's way too talky, way too dull, and doesn't really get interesting until like the final act.
Yeah.
Hard to Die is pretty much like my kind of cheesy, sleazy slasher. Hot girls getting them naked, pretty inconvenient moments. Tons of fun. Great setting with the abandoned the abandoned
Lingerie store.
lingerie. Yeah, the
Mm.
abandoned lingerie store. The indestructible killer that they keep thinking is trying to kill him, but he's actually trying to save him. You never, the body hopping idea is pretty fun. You don't really know who's possessed at any given moment. Not a fan of the fact that a lot of the deaths are gunshot instead of it being done by slasher. I think that's kind of my main issue with it, but I think just because of titties, I'm going Hard to Die.
Well, here's my theory on that. I think Hard to Die. I think the reason they did that instead of just calling it Sorority House Massacre 3 is one, because it didn't take place in a sorority house, but two,
Yeah, but they
I think
use
they're trying.
Slumber Party Massacre. That's the thing. They use Slumber Party Massacre because the opening flashbacks is the flashbacks to everything that goes on. That's all
Oh,
Slumber Party.
oh, I know. I mean, and
Yeah,
I mean, and I love that. Well, I think it was like a Die Hard. They're trying to make fun of Die Hard. I think it's why they called it Hard to Die. But
yeah,
I mean, it came out the same. It came out around the same time, so I think it was. But and I love the lingerie store. I love that we all have to try on this lingerie for no random reason, and we all have to go shower together for reasons. Like it's amazing. Red Hook. I'm from fucking New York, and like I love Red Hook. It was a good movie, but yeah, I don't think it's a real slasher. I think it's more of a college horror movie.
yeah.
That's my opinion, at least. I don't know how right I am, but it's what I think. So yeah, I mean, I don't blame you. Hard to Die is definitely the better movie in my opinion, and I love that they use the same villain in all three Sorority House Massacre movies. That's that same the same fat guy in every single one. That's just creepy. Like it's like, but we'll get to all those Sorority House and Slumber Party Massacre movies eventually. They're all on here in different parts. So I watched all of them just to watch Hard to Die. So, but the next matchup, which we might
We're
have
gonna have
time for.
to.
If we get cut off, just remember where we're trying to remember what we were talking about. But it's
No
number
worries.
6. It's number 682, Kill Your Darling from 2009 versus number 226, Tower of Evil from 1972.
Oh, Tower of Evil or Beyond the Fog. By virtue of the fact I've seen it, I'm choosing that one. So I think we'll get this cut off just in time.
All right.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
don't remember. I don't remember if I've seen the other one, but I know for sure I've seen. Oh, I know it as Beyond the Fog. So I'm going Tower of Evil or whatever version of the film you want to call it.
Yeah.
And
I
if you want to, if you
I
want to
didn't get
leave it, go ahead.
I didn't get to see I didn't get to see Kill Your Darling either, so I agree. I mean, just because I haven't seen it. I didn't get to see that one either because you can't find it. But Tower of Evil was, I found no flaws, but it was just a boring movie, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah, it's a little stiff and it has that early British pacing that, other than Hammer, you're not really getting a lot of action.
Yeah, exactly. Which that right there is probably going to be the point it's going to cut off any second. So we'll let it cut off and then we'll continue this in a few minutes. Luckily, we're not live, so we don't have to worry about that.
No worries. Yeah, just wanted to. Never got the notice, so yeah.
Almost pulled a Harvey. But the first matchup you have to pick from on this part is 681, the Summer of the Massacre from 2006 versus number 225, Slaughter Hotel from 1971.
Oh man, this is a hard one. And I mean that in every possible way because of Slaughter Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
God, that movie is so horny, and I love that movie so much for it. But God, that movie is such a piece of shit the way it's made. Yeah, it's not really one of my favorite giallos, although it's definitely a second tier one. Decent setup, although as soon as it starts, the way it starts playing out, you start to know who the killer is pretty quickly. Summer Massacre, though, the movie is just a blast. So many fun kills. I mean, it still holds the record to this day for a reason. Joe Castro, so it's got great gore. Not really a fan of the anthology setup, but I think it's going to be better than Slaughter Hotel. So I'm going with Summer of Massacre.
Oh my God, I cannot believe that's what you picked. Summer of
Mm.
Slaughter Hotel made it to the final four in the original bracket.
Everybody's a horny perv, so I can understand that.
Oh, no one else saw it but me, but I described it pretty well. And oh my God, I mean, the only movie in this whole bracket that they show puss in. Literally.
Yeah. God, I love Rosalba Mary.
Yeah. And I do actually have a Giallo film bracket as well. And I believe that's in it. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the better second tier ones. So.
But, all right. To see who's going to face Summer of the Massacre. I don't think it's going to matter. But it's 680, Come and Get Me from 2011 versus 224, The Town That Dreads Sundown, the 2014 version.
This is easy. The 2014 version. I think that movie's miles better than the original. I love the connection that it establishes itself as both a sequel and a reboot. So the events are canon, but it takes its own path. The killings are great. The gore is good. Come Get Me is just a really cheap indie film. It's not really all that special. So yeah, Town of Dreaded Sundown, easy for me.
I actually couldn't find Come and Get Me, so
I thought it was on Tubi.
on TV, on Tubi.
Tubi. I thought I saw it there.
No, um,
Maybe maybe I caught it before it disappeared or something. I don't know.
apparently you did.
Mm.
I just checked and it's still not anything I use, and I use Tubi plenty a lot with these brackets. So,
Uh,
but
that's what
all
I'm saying.
right,
I thought I saw that. I thought I saw it on there at one time. So yeah, maybe it disappeared and wasn't on there for the time when the bracket was made or something. I don't know. But I know I saw it there. So
probably, but that means the next matchup before the final two play-in matchups of the whole bracket is 679 Cinemaphobia from 2009 versus 223 The Hills Run Red from 2009.
again, another easy one. Hills Run Red. Great setup. Great, backwoods slasher feel. Love the meta-ness of everything. You figure it's going to be about this guy who goes in search of this long lost film, and he ends up becoming a part of it. But it takes a fun little secondary route that I really enjoy. Again, some fun nudity, great gore, great kills. Final half is just bonkers in the best way possible. Yeah, this one's easy for me. Hills Run Red.
Yeah, that was actually the last movie I watched this bracket. I actually made no, not the last, but close, because it came on TV. It came on streaming services finally in the beginning of October. So it's a fucking twisted ass movie. It's in the sadistic horror movie bracket I made that's coming up eventually. So
Nice, yeah.
but that means your third play-in match of the night and your first in the second half, and it's number 678, a movie I haven't seen, Easter Bunny Bloodbath from 2010 versus number 222, Dream Home from 2010.
Yeah, Dream Home again, easy one. Again, another one of those virtue of I haven't seen Easter Bunny Massacre. But yeah, Dream Home is fantastic. Great social commentary, great gore, great kills, sympathetic villain, some wacky concepts. Yeah, it goes in some really weird places that I definitely enjoy. Again, great gore, great kills. I'm a huge fan of that one. So yeah, Dream Home for me.
I agree 100%. I haven't seen Easter Bunny Bloodbath, not Easter Bunny Massacre. That's a different movie. It actually is a different
Oh,
movie.
Bloodbath.
That's
Yeah.
it actually is a different movie. That's the sad part. But Dream Home was fucking incredible. I mean, it's subtitles if you don't mind subtitles, but I freaking love the creativeness of those kills. I really do.
Yeah,
And the
yeah, those are
whole
something else.
two guy, one girl fun night getting slaughtered is a whole another thing. And that's gonna bring you down to your other last play-in matchup of the night, number 677, Spring Break Massacre from 2008 versus number 221, American Gothic from 1988.
So this one's gonna be a weird one. I'm gonna go Spring Break Massacre. American Gothic is fine. I love the atmosphere. I love the couples. I think it's Rod Steiger and Von de Carlo, correct? I believe that's the
Yeah, Rod Steiger and Beyond DiCarlo, yeah, the
yeah.
parents.
I think that yeah, they're the only really interesting part of that movie. It's kind of dull and really slow. Spring Break Massacre is really fun. It kind of ties into I think it's the Sorority House Massacre series, although I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah,
It's
it
either,
came after. It was like a homage to them, if anything.
yeah, I think it kind of plays with that a little bit, but I still really enjoy it. It's cheesy and low budget, so don't expect much. But I think it was a little bit more lively than American Gothic, and I think it had a little bit higher of a body count. So I'm going with Spring Break Massacre.
See, I'm so pissed American Gothic didn't make it through the play-ins, even any of the. It's like I actually might have made it in round one in the first one, but I American Gothic is maybe one of my favorite films. It's in my top 5 films, definitely off these 36 films, because American Gothic is fucking an amazing storyline. I don't think it has a slow build up. I think it builds up perfectly to where it needs to go. I mean, you're
I
trying to
found
figure
it
out.
kind of I found it kind of slow. I mean, there's definitely a fun payoff. It does go crazy in the third act, but
See, I don't care about going crazy. Even it's the buildup of the storyline, and like each time you think this family can't get any weirder. Oh look, there's this. But like,
yeah, that
oh look, there's a rotted baby skeleton. Oh, didn't see that coming.
yeah, that does have a nice factor to it.
I mean, it's just
Uh,
it's a twisted fucking thing. But hey, you made your choice, and it's your choice. I have
yeah,
no. I'm not gonna.
yeah.
I ain't trying to sway your mind because you made your choice.
No,
But
I'm saying, I mean, yeah, you are mentioning the parts I do like about it. It's just, I don't know. For me, I mean, I have more of a low budget indie taste, so Spring
uh,
Break Massacre is kind of more where I'm going with that's more my taste. So, but
well,
yeah, I
well now
guess
you.
I'll leave it at that for now.
Well, I'll say I don't think Spring Break Massacre is gonna make it far because it's facing Dream Home to decide who goes to round 2 in the final matchup of round 1.
Okay, so yeah, it's Dream Home. So
Yeah, like I said, I don't think it's going far.
yeah,
Pardon me, folks. And that means it's time for round 2. So we're going back to the other side, and it's number 9. It's number 914. Hashtag Chad gets the axe from 2022 versus number 457 Killer from 1989.
yeah, Chad gets the X. I think it's a better made movie. Better kills, more fun.
Hmm. I love its commentary on today's society and streamers. I love it.
Yeah.
I love that. But all right, to see who Chad's going to face, you have a very difficult matchup in round 2. Or at least I think it's going to be difficult. It's number 912, Jeepers Creepers Reborn from 2022 versus number 911, Winnie the Pooh from Blood and Honey from 2023.
Oh, this isn't a contest. Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, that's kind of the way it went, but on the other one as
Well, no,
well. But
Winnie the. Well, no, I'm being legitimately serious here. Winnie the Pooh was my second favorite film of the year. So
hmm, I wouldn't go that far for me
I am.
in a year where the Flash and
I'm counting just specific horror films. So
all right. Well, the next matchup is going to be number 910, Kill Her Goats from 2023 versus number 909, The Mean One from 2022.
yeah, Christmas horror wins out. I'm going Mean One.
All right. And to face Mean One, you have number 908, Student Body from 2022 versus number 451, Final Girl from 2015.
Mm, they're both pretty close. I think Student Body is I think a better representation of a slasher at this point. I'm going with that one.
I don't blame you. Though I do love Final Girl, so I mean that's a
Yeah,
hard
it's
choice.
like I said, it. Yeah, I think it's a great film. Like I said, there's a great storyline to it. The revenge is pretty well handled. I think just I think as a slasher, I think Student Body is a better representation.
I agree. But that means that we're moving to the other side of round 2 already. That was a quick 4 matchups, but it's going to be number 229, Nightmares from 1980 versus number 228, Valentine from 2001.
Hmm. This is a close one. Even though I still wish I was so more gore, I still think Valentine is severely underrated. I think I'm going with that one.
Plus, it was such an early 2000s flick with Marilyn Manson and Disturbed music in it. So I mean,
Yeah,
it's a
soundtrack
top
definitely gives off. Its soundtrack definitely gives off the era.
definitely does. It's a 2000s flick for sure. But that means it's going to be facing one of these two. Number 227, Hard to Die from 1990, or number 226, Tower of Evil from 1972.
Mm, this is tough. Both have nice tits.
I love that that's your ratings way. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
Uh, I gotta go Tower of Evil. I think that's a better slasher. Hard to Die is a pretty die-hard heavy clone, so there's not a lot of genuine slashing. A lot of it's gunshots.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think that's I think that's a fine separation between the two because they're pretty similar. I think Tower of Evil is a better slasher.
I will say it's a much better lingerie photo shoot scene than the movie I'm watching right now for the holiday horror bracket coming up. And well, that movie is Christmas Presents, but
Ugh, God, that movie sucked.
I am getting that feeling. But I started over again because I was like halfway through and then I didn't watch it for a couple days. So I started over again
Yeah,
this morning, and I don't know, I want to see how it ends. The beginning made me hopeful, so we'll see.
yeah.
But we'll see. I'll talk about that one in December, folks, when we do the holiday horror bracket. But well, part one. But next matchup is 681, The Summer of the Massacre from 2006 versus number 224, The Town That Dread Sundown 2014 version.
Hmm. Yeah, another tough one. I think Town of Dreaded Sundown just barely ekes it out. They're both really close, at least for me. But yeah, I really liked Town of Dreaded Sundown. I thought it was a really fun update and had a lot of stuff that I really liked about it. So I'm going with that one.
Yeah, I think it beats Summer of the Massacre by fucking far. But some of the Massacre was some of the worst cameraman working I've ever seen in my life. But
Yeah,
it shook so
yeah.
much. I swear to God, it was like Michael J.
The
Fox
shaking
with the
camera
camera.
thing does get the shaking camera thing does get old. Yeah, I will give you that one.
But that means your final matchup in round two to see who that's going to face is number 223, The Hills Run Red from 2009 versus number 222, Dream Home from 2010.
Ooh, man, that's a tough one. I think the bonkers Asianness is going to win out here. I'm going Dream Home, but yeah, that's a close one. That's probably I think that's the toughest one so far.
Oh, it's going to get a lot tougher right now. But that means it's now time to go to the quarterfinals. 4 matches to discover your top 4 films. And that means the first one is going to be number 914, Chad Gets the Axe from 2022, versus number 911, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Winnie the Pooh, second favorite film of the year.
Chad does get the axe.
Yep.
That's the way I see it. And this may go the same way as our half of the semifinals goes, but we'll see which one you pick for this, even though I'm pretty sure I know. It's going to be 909, The Mean One from 2022 versus 908, The Student Body from 2022.
Yeah, I think Student Body. I think that one just barely. I think that one.
You made
Yeah,
me
I think that one just
pizza.
barely. Yeah. I'll go Student Body.
I'm honestly surprised because we had Mean One face Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Horror in the semifinals in the original, but that's because everybody's picked them because they knew the concept. They didn't know any of the other ones really. So that's why I love doing one-on-ones because it's so much different always in the original. But the other side of the quarterfinals starts with 228 Valentine from 2001 versus number 226 Tower of Evil 1972.
Yeah, again, I gotta go Valentine on this one. Really surprised.
I'm not. Valentine is a better movie in my opinion.
Well, I'm just surprised it's lasted this long because I mean it's not one that I really think of as like one of the best of that era. But yeah, I mean I'm thinking back about it, against these, like I said, I'm kind of surprised it's lasted this long.
I honestly don't see it going out of the semifinals, but we'll see. Because it's going to be facing one of these two in the semifinals. It's either 224, The Town That Dread Sundown from 2014, or 222, Dream Home from 2010.
Yeah, again, I gotta go with the Asian. I gotta go Dream Home.
I'm telling you, I just put together a J horror and a K horror bracket, and I am looking forward to getting to those eventually. Those movies look so twisted. It's gonna be a lot of fucking subtitles, but still.
Yeah, I'm used to it. So
I'm not, but I'll live. But that means it does make it easier to watch it when you have kids, though, because then you don't have to really be hearing it all the time. But that means the semifinals for you will start on this side because it's number 911, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey from 2023 versus number 908, Student Body from 2022.
yeah, again, Winnie the Pooh. I mean, like I said, it's one of my favorite films of the year so far. So yeah, I'm definitely going with that one.
All right. And that means that it's going to be facing in the finals either Valentine from 2001 or Dream Home from 2010.
Dream Home.
Mm, I like those finals. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, fun films, definitely.
I mean, I honestly don't. Oh, actually, I do know what the final was in the other one, but I think I say people can listen to it to hear that. But that means we'll do your third and fourth place matchup first to figure out who's going to be your third and your fourth. And that's going to be between number 908, Student Body from 2022, versus number 228, Valentine from 2001.
I think Student Body. I had a lot more fun with that one than I thought. I do like Valentine. Like I said, there's some great giallo build up, the mystery. The kills are inventive, although I wish there was more. Gets a few stalking scenes right, but yeah, I'm definitely going with Student Body here for three. I think that one. I think that one over Valentine.
All right, I can agree with that, honestly. But that means your finals. Oh, your finals. And I do not pity you with this. Actually, I do pity you with this vote. Oh, it's going to be hard. It's 9/11, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey from 2023 versus number 222, Dream Home from 2010.
Yeah, I was kind of suspecting this was going to be the case when the last few matchups kind of determine this. Uh, I'm surprised Winnie the Pooh is as good as it is, but I just think the out here atmosphere, the setup, the kills, the gore, the social commentary. I think Dream Home is the better movie. So I think that's probably going to be the way I'm going to go here. I think I'm going to go with the better movie over the more fun one. So I'm going to go Dream Home over Winnie the Pooh.
Well, like one of the girls in Winnie the Pooh, all I could say is, "Oh bother," but which I love they threw that in there. I love they threw that in there, and
Yeah,
of course, all he screamed was Piglet. Fucking love it.
yeah. I'm
But
still looking
that
forward to the sequel.
I can't wait, and I wish they would do that with more childhood classics. But that means, folks, that Don's final four were Valentine from 2001 at fourth place, Student Body from 2022 at third place, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey at second place, and Dream Home in first place. And I will reiterate this since I didn't say it in this one-on-one. The movies that are lowest ranked are all the newest movies, just because the site I use for these is called Flickchart, and it's just like Ranker. It's voted on by people, so if they haven't had a chance to see it yet, when it's newer, they probably haven't. They don't have a chance to vote it up. So if I look back in a couple of years, Winnie the Pooh will probably be a lot further up in this fucking ranking. But that's gonna finish this bracket, folks. And what a bracket it was. I want to thank Don for taking time to do this when he couldn't make it to the original, because I definitely wanted his input on these movies, and I wish I had it in the original too to sway some people certain ways. But oh well, shit happens. You got to deal with it. We're all trying to get Don's StreamYard problem figured out for the next group bracket. But
Yeah.
until then,
Like I said, I the last time we were on there, I ended up having to turn the camera off because it was affecting the outcome of the stream. So I mean, that was then. This time I couldn't even get in. So yeah, there's some issues to definitely get sorted out. So I'm
yeah,
definitely looking forward. I mean, I'd love to keep joining you guys if these things can get solved out. But
we'll try
yeah, thank
because
you.
we'll definitely do a we'll definitely have to take a little while one day and just play with it and see what we can do to get it to work. But Don, where can people find you and your show?
Yeah, well, they can find me on two different podcasts. You can find me on No More Room in Hell presents Fresh Cuts, which is a look at the latest weekly release. The biggest, latest release of the current week. VOD, streaming, theatrical, VOD. We take a look at it all. Usually one movie per week. So we always take a look at theatrical screenings first, but we always do we always take a look at other films in around that. So you can find that on the Dark Discussions network at darkdiscussions.com or under the No More Room in Hell feed on most podcasters. We don't have a dedicated show because it's considered a sidecast, so there's no dedicated feed for it. But if you find No More Room in Hell, we should be on there. And the other show is the Horror Countdown, which is currently, as you hear this, on hiatus for the new season. We're going to start up, I think, in January for season 3. Basically, it's me and a guest. We pick a topic and do a top 10 list. So it's pretty fun, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. A lot of fun conversations there with that. So you can find us pretty much everywhere. I've got us out on enough catchers under Horror Countdown that you should be able to find it under your preferred catcher of choice. Spotify, Apple. Can't say Stitcher. I gotta stop remember to saying that. Google Podcasts, Pocket Cast, Overcast, all those places. You should be able to find it. Nobody's said anything about not being able to catch it, so it's out there in enough places that it should be easy to find. So yeah, go ahead and dive in and just wait to see what we have for the new season.
And folks, check it out. You can find an episode of me and Chancey on it, and it's entertaining as shit. But and you all know where you can find me. If you're new and don't know, shame, but you can listen to the outro and find out. I do have a lot of new listeners now that Paranormal New Normal is officially the #1 science indie podcast on Good Pods, and it's officially the #5 overall science podcast on Good Pods. Thank you all for listening and liking and doing everything you do to make it happen. You've been getting me so many new followers and listeners lately. I freaking love you all. So, first chance I got to say it on the show, actually. So, but this episode will be releasing right after Halloween. So, hope you had a fun Halloween and hope you didn't egg too many cars. But until next time, remember, coming up in the next few months, in November, we will have the most awesome and creepy creatures of all time bracket part 1. In December, we're going to have the holiday horror bracket part 1. And in January, we will be doing what won the wheel spin at the end of the group 1 session of this last time, 80s alien movies bracket. So it's like 40 alien movies in one bracket. It's going to be, and it's 80, so it's going to be one fucking long hell of a fight to see who wins that one, but we'll see. Until then, thank you all for listening and watching if you're watching it in replay on YouTube, and I will see you all next time.
Later.